Hey, so you know how in my Turkish videos I keep joking about wishing there was a Turkish knockoff of Ultraman? Well, turns out I was looking in the wrong place because back in the 70s, Thailand actually made one. And what's even weirder is that it's actually not a ripoff. It's an official Ultraman movie. Well, kinda. I'll explain later.
Hanuman ชาญสมรกระบี่วานอนกลุ่มร้อนกายา
Okay, before I get started, I should probably give everyone a crash course in Ultraman so you have some idea of just what the hell I'm talking about. Ultraman is a Japanese superhero kaiju franchise created by Tsuburaya Productions, a company founded by Eiji Tsuburaya, who's best known for doing the effects work for many of the original Godzilla films. The premise of the show is pretty simple. An alien being fuses with a human, allowing him to transform into Ultraman, a giant-sized superhero who then fights a variety of weird monsters. The series led to several spin-off shows featuring various different Ultramen, and the franchise is so popular that TV shows and movies featuring the characters are still being produced today. So, of course, the first one I decided to feature on this show was one produced in a foreign country of dubious legality. Hey, were you expecting anything else? Actually, believe it or not, this is technically a legit Ultraman movie. In 1974, Tsuburaya signed a licensing deal with Thai filmmaker Sompote Sands and his company Chayo Productions to co-produce two films featuring their characters. The first was Jumborg Ace and Giant, and the second was this one, Hanuman vs. 7 Ultraman, which teamed several Ultraman characters up with a Thai hero named Hanuman. It also managed to get a theatrical release in Japan, where it was called The 6 Ultra Brothers vs. the Monster Army, which is a way more accurate title since there's only 6 Ultra Brothers in it and they team up with Hanuman rather than fighting him. But what's really notable about this film is the legal battle that ensued, where Chayo tried to claim ownership over not just this movie, but the entire Ultraman franchise. I'll explain more about that a little later. For this video, I'm going with the original Thai version of the movie, and while you can find copies of it with subtitles, I decided to take the Turkish route and just go in raw. After all, even if this technically isn't a Turkish ripoff, there's times where it kinda feels like one. And besides, no subtitles means I can just make my own.
โดยไม่มีขอบเขตสิ้นสุดนี้มีดวงอาทิตย์เป็นศูนย์กลางของสุริยะจักรวาลประกอบไปด้วยดวงดาวใหญ่ๆ9ดวงโคจรอยู่รอบๆดวงอาทิตย์
Okay, we started in outer space, but now I think we might be inside a really fancy 1970s gaming PC. This is the Ultra character's homeworld, and by the looks of it, they're getting ready to have an eyes wide shut orgy. You know, something tells me that even if my copy did have subtitles, I still probably wouldn't know what the hell is going on. Yeah, I think that's accurate. And here's the first look at our hero, Hanuman. Hanuman is actually a deity found in Hinduism, and that's pretty much all you need to know. I have a feeling this is going to be about as faithful to the religion as Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. And check out Hanuman's theme song.
Hanuman ชาญสมรกระบี่วานอนกลุ่มร้อนกายา
Ultraman, Ultraman, here he comes from the sky.
After the credits, we see a giant egg floating through space looking for a sperm big enough to fertilize it. Hopefully one of the Ultramen is up to the job. As weird as that is, it's got nothing on these two idiots.
Hey, ช่วยติดเครื่องทีสิโอเค
Huh, that's weird. In old cartoons, that usually leads to a blackface gag. It's kind of weird seeing a whiteface one. These two are supposed to be the movie's comic relief, even though it'd be more of a relief if someone put your balls in a vice and started turning the handle slowly. You know, I didn't think it was possible for anything to be worse than a Kenny in these kinds of movies, but I think I might have been wrong. Speaking of Kennys, here's a whole crowd of them. Back in the 70s, instead of playing sports, kids in Thailand did choreographed dance routines in front of temples. Although something tells me these kids might be up to something more sinister.
เทวดาอยู่ไหนช่วยพวกเราทีประกรณ์เจ้าค่ะ
เดี๋ยวข้าโปรดก่อน
Man, it is really weird to see a giant monster movie where the kids aren't the most annoying part. Oh god, please tell me there isn't a skinny dipping scene with these two? Hey, didn't you see the sign? No swimming or cringy dumbassery allowed.
เป็นนักบินจรวดพิเศษมือดีชั้นเซียนยอดทะลึ่ง
Okay, I guess these two can't read. Never mind these assholes. It's time for the grand opening of Thailand's newest amusement park, Missile Land. Why don't you tell us all about it?
แล้วก็จะทำการยิงเข้าไปอีกหลายๆลูกในครั้งเดียวกันซึ่งก็จะทำให้ฝนตกลงมาอย่างหนักแล้วก็ทำให้พื้นที่ที่กำลังจะถูกเผาไหม้เนี่ยกลับชื่นฉ่ำขึ้นมาได้
Hopefully the park opens soon so it'll give these kids something to do besides dance all day. We finally get something resembling a plot when a bunch of criminals decide to steal some artifacts from the temple where the kids are. Because the Ultra characters are still in space, looks like it's up to this kid to stop them.
มึงขโมยอะไรวะ
เสือกอะไรของเรา
Oh hey, what do you know? This movie finally did what I've always wanted to see happen to the Kennys in a Gamera movie.
กูไม่ไป
Okay, fake punching him is one thing, but that whole stunt with the Jeep could have gone really badly. Don't worry though, the kid's fine. Or not. Damn, I know I joke about killing Kennys in these types of movies, but even I didn't think I'd ever actually see it. Well, we can't afford a coffin for him, so instead we'll just leave him at the temple and hope nobody says anything. But wait a second, he can't die yet. There's still more than an hour left in this movie. Huddle up, fellas, we got a plot to get to. First though, they gotta watch a magic show put on by this one. For my first trick, I'm going to pull a dead kid out of his grave. Okay, that's a pretty good trick. And wait a second, are those boobs? With nipples? Okay, we're half an hour in, and so far this movie's had child murder and ultra titties. Can't say I was expecting that. At this point, the Ultramen take the kid back to their planet and bring him back to life as the Crow. Hanuman.
Hanuman! Hanuman!
That's right, kids. Hanuman's here to save the day, and awkwardly strike a pose in the air. I'm not sure if the kids know who he is, though.
Pika! Pika!
Wrong franchise, kid! Later on, the kid wanders into the middle of nowhere, apparently so he can do peyote. I'm not joking. There are parts of this movie that make Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas look like a Dare PSA.
ใครวะที่มาดึงรถข้าให้หยุด
พระลักษณ์ที่ถูกห่อของกุมภกันถ้าไม่เอาดอกสังกรณีปรีชวาไปให้ทันก่อนพระอาทิตย์ขึ้น
เอาละข้าจะหยุดให้สักครู่หนึ่ง
You know, I didn't think it was possible for anything to top the Turkish knockoffs I've done for sheer what the fuckosity, but this movie might have done it.
สังกรณีปรีชวาเจ้าอยู่ที่ไหนบอกข้าด้วย
อยู่ที่นี่ตีนเขาสัพพยา
Everybody else just heard those flowers talk, right? It's rare that a movie makes you feel high and tries to give you epilepsy at the same time. Also, I really hope that isn't what I think it is. I mean, we have already seen tits in this movie.
เจ้าดอกสังกรณีปรีชวา
I don't think what he just did to those flowers was consensual. Now that he's done picking flowers, Hanuman can finally take care of those damn criminals from earlier. Oh hey, look at that. In most shows like this, the superhero waits until right before the end to grow bigger, but Hanuman doesn't care if you're the same size as him, he cuts right to the chase. And also kills people. I may have joked earlier about the kid getting resurrected as the Crow, but Hanuman is straight up out for vengeance in this movie. Even moving in fast motion isn't gonna save these guys. You really gotta love how Asian movies are willing to put moments of extreme violence into their kids' movies. Next, Hanuman's gonna stop a drug gang by skinning them all alive. And things haven't gotten trippy in a while.
เฮ้ยใครเอ็งเป็นใครวะลืมซะแล้วเหรอข้าหนุมานลูกพระพลายอ๋อเจ้าหนุมาน
Hanuman may have just brutally murdered some people, but he also brought this kid some flowers, so That's kinda nice. Meanwhile, back at the missile station, or whatever, looks like one of the rockets is about to launch. Hopefully it can find what planet the Ultraman characters are on so they can be in the movie again. Oh, god damn it. I knew we shouldn't have named that rocket the Challenger. What? Not to worry though, apparently this was supposed to happen.
ถึงฝนจะตกปรอยๆแต่ก็เป็นฝนจริงๆนะคะ
Despite the launch being a success, that doesn't stop these two from coming in and ruining things. Even George Lucas would say these characters are silly and obnoxious.
ฮัลโหล เริ่มปฏิบัติการก่อน 24 ชั่วโมง และให้เจ้าหน้าที่ทุกคนไปรายงานตัวด่วน
What the hell are you doing? The plan's not gonna work if you blow up the missiles on the ground. I'm not really sure what's happening, but I'm just gonna assume it's somehow these two idiots' fault. Well, the rockets may be exploding, but at least that finally means we get some monsters in this movie. And they even managed to get suits from the real Ultraman series. Sadly, Piccolo the puppet monster was unable to make it for this movie. As for why they're here beats the hell out of me. They just come up out of the ground all of a sudden. Here's hoping they kill these two first. Because this is a giant monster movie, before the heroes get here, the army needs to try and take care of the monsters first. And sure guys, just shoot near the rockets, I'm sure that'll go well. I've talked before about admiring how the suit actors in Godzilla movies are willing to put themselves in danger by being so close to the pyrotechnics, but something tells me the safety regulations were really loose on this movie. Hey, we're just gonna strap a flamethrower to your head while you're wearing a big latex suit? You'll probably be fine. Alright, the monsters took care of the jets. Now kill the kids.
เห็นคนก็วิ่งหนีกันใหญ่เลยถ้าอย่างนั้นฐานจรวดก็ถูกทำลายหมดแล้วล่ะสิ
With the army powerless against the monsters, their only hope is Hanuman. Of course, they could get the Ultraman characters to fight him, but that would mean they'd be in the movie again. While they're at it, the monsters should invite the aliens from War God to help them out. Quick, kid, turn into Hanuman and get rid of these things, will ya?
Hanuman ชาญสมรกระบี่วานอนรุ่มร้อนกายา
Ultraman, Ultraman, here he comes from the sky.
I really gotta question Hanuman's weapon choice here. Even Raphael was smart enough to use 2 sais in battle, plus Donatello's weapon was the one with the best reach. Hanuman manages to do pretty well against the monsters at first, however, he quickly realizes that 4-on-1 isn't a fair fight. He probably should have spent less time dancing and more time practicing fighting. Ah, Jesus, Hanuman. What are you, the god of getting your ass beat? Fight back, will ya? Oh boy, looks like Hanuman's not gonna be able to take care of these monsters. Lucky for him, the Ultraman characters decide to lend him a hand. Nice of him to show up again now that there's only 20 minutes left.
ดูโน่นสิอนันต์ฮะเอ๊ะนี่มันยอดมนุษย์นี่
Not to worry, Hanuman. The Ultra Brothers are here to save you. And possibly this entire movie. Maybe after they're done fighting the monsters, they can teach Hanuman how to fly properly. First though, they gotta dazzle the monsters with their gymnastics routine. The rest of the movie is basically just one big monster brawl, which normally would be fine, but again, they keep insisting on interrupting it with these two dipshits. Oh shit, did they just die? Oh wait, never mind, I guess they're fine. And by fine, I mean still annoying. Unlike in a Godzilla movie, they couldn't afford to build an entire city for the monsters to destroy, so instead they just wrecked the missile park. Speaking of which, you might want to get the fuck out of there, pal. Well, too late now. God damn, they did not skimp on the pyrotechnics budget for this movie, I'll give them that. Okay, now are those two dead? God damn it, why won't they die? As you might expect for a kid's movie, most of the violence is pretty slapsticky and silly, but then all of a sudden something like this'll happen. Yeah, and if you thought that was disturbing... See, kids? Mutilation is funny. And that's not even the worst monster kill in this movie. Just look at this. Sweet Jesus, this has gone into straight up itchy and scratchy cartoon territory. What are they gonna do to this monster? Make him watch as they murder his family in front of him? Whoa, 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 what the hell do you think you're doing? The only kaiju with killer rainbow powers is Barugon, got it? Man, even Godzilla vs. Hedorah wasn't this trippy and weird. What, did they use sheets of acid as the film stock for this part? Jeez, who knew being colorful was so deadly? You guys better put a stop to this quick.
แสงกระบองมหาวินาศ
Sonic boom! And so the monsters are defeated, and oh hey, look at that. We finally got a blackface gag. Would have made a lot more sense to put it here, but whatever. Before the Ultra Brothers head home though, Hanuman thanks them through interpretive dance. I know I usually use another Tiny Tim song for that gag, but I figured I'd change it up a little bit. Thanks for helping me out, Ultraman. And just remember, by agreeing to be in this movie, I now own your asses. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna get into the legal battle around this movie in just a second. But first, why don't I give you an idea of just what kind of person Sampote Sans is? Hanuman vs. 7 Ultraman was apparently a success, and soon afterwards Chayo made Hanuman and the Five Riders, which featured characters from Japan's popular Kamen Rider franchise. And if you were wondering if that movie was also an official co-production, no. Sans asked the rights holders to Kamen Rider for permission to use the characters, and when they refused, he just went ahead and made the movie anyway. You know, considering Hollywood has a reputation for being full of liars, thieves, and scumbags, it's kinda nice to know filmmakers in other countries are also like that. But even that pales in comparison to what Sans tried to do to Tsuburaya. Years after the film's release, Sans claimed that Chayo Productions owned the exclusive rights not just to this movie, but all Ultraman properties outside of Japan. Okay, admittedly I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that no, they don't. Sans even went so far as to make a phony contract with forged signatures to try and back up his claim, and even though several different courts from around the world ruled that Tsuburaya were the rightful owners of Ultraman, that didn't stop him from merchandising and even making his own unauthorized Ultraman characters. He also took footage from the Hanuman movie along with unauthorized clips from real Ultraman films and re-edited them into another movie called Space Warriors 2000. And if you're wondering what that's like, it's even worse than the Hanuman movie.
So you see, Nicholas, it was not an accident that your father went into that toy shop. The Galaxy Council was directing his movements. You have been chosen for a special mission which is about to begin.
And before anyone asks, sure, I might do that one someday. Tsuburaya did manage to score a major victory in 2008, with courts definitively ruling in their favor, although this was after Sans made an unauthorized Ultraman TV series that was blocked right before it was supposed to air. I'm not sure if the full series of that is available anywhere, but if anyone in the comments knows, please tell me. Despite all the legal fuckery that resulted from this movie, I'm still glad it was made, since it's probably the closest we'll ever get to seeing a Turkish knockoff of Ultraman. Although, considering China is now making their own unauthorized versions of Ultraman, it may not be too late. Turkey can still make their own unauthorized ripoff of Ultraman. I personally would love to see Ultraman stop in the middle of a fight to go to a strip club while a crappy recording of a Led Zeppelin song plays. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.